Hello. How are you, Lettuce? Sorry, I just had to set up some things. How are you? We're gonna do some fundraising. We're gonna do some gaming. I'm gonna watch that discussion between one guy and a second guy. It's gonna be great. We're gonna start with this, then we're gonna move on to something else. I'm gonna have a tight schedule. It's gonna be great. I hope. Does that make sense? Getting ready for work. Another night shift. Night shift, sorry. Although technically speaking, all my political streams are night shifts. Ah, my goodness. Usually I'd be... Oh, there's one topic. Oh. Just today I realized that there's one big topic that I wanna focus on. But it is such an algorithm unfriendly topic, but I still wanna pursue it.
Friends of Verso, as honored guests, the first fight is yours. Defeat the Stalact with your fearsome talents.
Right. Oh. You're serious?
Yes, he is.
You little coward.
You little coward. Little coward as opposed to the big coward.
Watch out, my elf.
Wait, that was...
Verso, why aren't you using gradient attacks?
I don't need pointers from the one sitting on his lazy ass.
You didn't teach them, did you, you lazy old fart? Very well. I shall generate...
Let's spill some ink.
Gradient attack. You can now use gradient attacks. Each after use to cast a skill fills the gradient gauge. Once the gauge is full, you gain 1 gradient charge. Every turn, use with any character to cast a gradient attack.
You can't escape. Precise strike.
That was so easy. That was too easy. That was a tutorial battle if I ever saw one. My god. I've never seen such a blatant tutorial battle in my life. Well, I'm glad.
You found worthy friends, Verso.
Jealous?
Yes, a bit. I'm a bit jealous. There you go, I like my own screen.
Just need the foot. Aha!
He transforms by collecting Neverun feet. Don't ask me how it works. I've never understood.
Now that we've had some good battles to warm the spirits, to what do we owe the pleasure of your company?
We're heading for Old Lumiere.
Okay, bye.
Hey, come on. Hey. Hey, look. I know we failed before, but look, you doofus. Don't you recognize her?
Of course I do.
Then you know what that means. This is our shot. It might be our only shot.
This is your only shot. Out of the question. I will never join you again.
There will be a lot of fighting, though.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah, it's true.
There will be a lot of fighting.
Exactly.
Count me in then.
Good.
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 Yes, good.
Noko's coming too.
Oh, you are?
L'homme mercante al dormir. C'est mon retour, trésorier. Voici le meilleur mercanteur du monde.
As a responsible parent, this is a superb idea. Let us go to Old Lumiere.
Grande socomanie, nella structura godão. Choro parlantinima, neminines dos estrados. Choro do ordular, ora chegito em orse.
How many likes does my stream have now? Hello. This is the game where people turn into petals and where you visited the Giant's Causeway in Northern Ireland. Yes, that's the same game. I'm gonna play it for a bit. It's an amazing RPG. Welcome. Welcome. Thank you for being here. I'm doing a little daytime stream. Oh yeah, I forgot to add in the title. Sounds a little bit sappy, but listen. It's also not a lie. Polish Chroma Catalyst. I need something to upgrade my weapons to level 10 now, not level 9. I'm already level 9 with all of my weapons. But I need to change the title of the stream, at least on YouTube. To reflect was for sudden doctor visit. There you go. It's yeah. E-begging as its finest. Alright, let's go. Do you wish to play Monoka's tutorial? Yes.
Sweetest of battle.
Monoka's Bestial Wheel. Monoka's skill move, the Bestial Wheel pointed forward. Each mask on the wheel upgrades specific skill. The Almighty Mask upgrades all skills. Upgraded skills are stronger or gain additional effects. Monoko's starting skills are Charlia, Combo, and Stalact Punches. The Bestial Wheel is on Heavy Mask, therefore Stalact Punches is a good upgrade and deals additional damage. Use Stalact Punches to move the Bestial Wheel ponder for a mask further. Doctor visit, what happened? Well, technically speaking, it's not my doctor visit, it's my mom's, but, you know. She's not feeling great, but yeah. Yeah. see. Okay, let's do the... Wow.
Oh, really?
Monoko's Nebron skill. Monoko harvests Nebron legs if he is in the party when the Nebrons are killed. Enemies are lootable legs have this icon next to their health bar. Defeating them will allow Monoko to learn this Nebron skill. The bestial wheel is now on Caster Mask. Monoko doesn't have any caster skills yet, but defeating the Paladin will unlock one. Ooh. This is a pretty cool character. I might want to use, actually. So what now?
That's more like it.
Oh, I almost perfectly avoided this monster.
Sweet taste of battle.
Can't I afford anything? What am I supposed to do? Am I supposed to do something? Monaco's never-end skill. She just beat up here and I looked at the leg, which allows Monaco to learn the skill Paladin Heal. Open the skill menu to equip on it. Sure. Where am I going now? Ah. Ziemniaki albo pomidory? Bardzo ważne pytanie. Wait. Why albo? Why not both? Ziemniaki i pomidory dobrze razem pasują. Or are you asking me which one I prefer? Oh gosh. I don't know. I eat more ziemniaki. So I guess ziemniaki. Because they go with more things. Wait, are you Polish? Speak a lot of Polish. Seems like you're... I have more Polish viewers than I thought, actually. It seems. I'm German Polish. But increasingly more Polish viewers. I did not expect to pick up so many Polish viewers. Oh well, I guess audiences just grow organically. You don't really control what sort of audience you get. If that makes sense. I'm glad I have an audience at all. Not gonna lie. What game should we play after this one? I wanna watch a thing as well. Not all Polish people are transphobic, but unfortunately too many. Yeah, quite a lot. I know. You know. All you can do is ignore the ones that are transphobic and appreciate those that aren't. I think that's the best. And that goes not just with Polish people, I suppose. Just appreciate those who are not and ignore those who are. Then you'll be a lot happier in life. If you're trans. Do you have the original FF7? I finished it on stream. I finished the original FF7 on stream. I finished all the Pixel Remaster games. I finished FF7, and then I started playing Final Fantasy Tactics. And then I sort of stopped because I learned that very soon this month there will be a remaster on Steam of Final Fantasy Tactics. And then I will move on to play Final Fantasy 8, 9, 10, etc. Oh, that was some time ago. And yes, the original Final Fantasy VII is far superior to the despicable Final Fantasy VII remake / sequel. Yes.
Get ready.
It is a sequel, okay? No one can convince me that Final Fantasy Remake is not a sequel. I hope I will get some understanding.
Let's cut the path. Don't die next time.
Brace yourselves.
Carry it!
Bring it on.
What do you think?
Reborn once more.
Okay.
But I parry it,
For now.
honestly.
Just try it.
I thought I was so good at parrying.
Target marked.
I think the game is delaying right now. FF7's remake's ending has a different, less depressing ending, right? I appreciate the original's bleak ending, to be honest. The remake is a sequel. Okay? Okay, first of all, it's a sequel. And second of all, it's not a finished game. Like, there's the next game called Rebirth. Like, and it's part of the Final Fantasy VII compilation. And it reboots Final Fantasy VII into a multiverse. Yeah. Yeah, because Final Fantasy VII was a good game. And Final Fantasy VII Rebirth and Remake are just part of the compilation. And far worse. I will stand by it. I will debate people on it. Any day of the week. Till my gills go blue. Also, they've done Red 13 dirty apparently in the Rebirth.
Eyes up, Monaco.
Your turn, dance.
Take your shot. Or never. I saw your future. Take your shot. Right.
Oh, really?
Oh my gosh, I died immediately. You're saying that the new FSN is money, 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 yes. I mean, it has good gameplay. I enjoy playing it for its gameplay, but the story is horrible. I'm not gonna pretend that it's not when it is, okay? It's garbage. Its story is garbage. This game has such better story than the remake and Rebirth. I haven't even played Rebirth and I already know that it's gonna be bad story-wise. I'm gonna play it on stream. I'm actually playing the remake on stream as well. I play everything on stream. That's my thing. Everything on stream. To grow from being a micro streamer to being a small streamer. Gaming is, I guess, the drama. Okay, I don't do drama, but I do gaming. The game works really slow today. And it messes up with parrying and dodging, not gonna lie. Let's go to the camp. What's your favorite genre of games, by the way? Mine has always been this type of RPG. But I play other types of games as well. I don't shy away from other types of games. Oh! We've gained a piece of music. So let's go to the cave. We need something to upgrade to level 10.
What present? Oh, I got your note about, but I didn't see a present. What was it? Silly batat.
Did you play the English version of F7? The German copy is hilarious bad and unfortunate
That's my
translation
favorite
called
patat.
is called Herr Führer by Sir once. Oh god. I haven't played Rebirth yet. Oh, you mean the original? I played the English version. I think I also played a bit of Japanese version. Have I mentioned that I can speak and read Japanese to a certain degree? I've even done a playthrough of a Japanese game while translating it live, but not many people were interested in that, so I sort of gave up on it because it didn't get much traction.
Huh, non è favorito molto patate.
Oh, I'm still your favorite, am I? Because you've taken a real shine to my L.
Jealous, sir? Send a minute of thunder.
Fair enough. So tell me, patat to not a patat. Why are you tagging along? Really?
No, he does not. Nobody calls him Hitler in the original, in the English version.
Wait a minute. I'm gonna do the grande emergente del
Maybe he should.
I don't believe you. Don't tell Minoko I said this, but you were and still are the greatest searcher of all time. And you know there are more lost Jestrels out there. Why be a merchant? Why go to old Lumiere? Mare?
Terrible chancellor. Sono le grande del tempo, never ready forever.
No?
Persona, forever and all circuit.
True.
True.
All right, all right.
Ora, garati Monaco and Trobo.
Minoko's all grown up now. And it's your turn to be the patat.
Meh.
So eloquent.
Is Golgra still mad at me?
What do you think?
Well, Golgra helped Noko start his merchant shop.
Yeah, but defying Golgra wasn't Noko's idea, was it?
Noko would have done the same for me.
Noko would have got Golgra on his side first.
Bah! It's been 10 years. Golgra needs to get over it. I see you got stronger.
Well, I didn't spend the last few years hiding in the mountains.
The mountain where a Pellerin cut you in half and you cried for my help.
Yeah, the mountain where a Stalak stomped you, and I had to evacuate you.
You want to fight?
Well, unlike Jestrels, I need sleep, so I'll pass.
Coward.
Have you seen how weak you are now? I'd beat you blindfolded. But I'm afraid of you.
Have you seen how weak you are now? I'd beat you blindfolded.
In the mountains, I have learned inner peace. These petty provocations do not work on me anymore.
I've missed our little excursions. Yeah, you do too, I know.
Remember our first battle against the duelist?
Sure do. We got our asses kicked pretty hard.
And this one time we tried to swim to the Red Tree Island and you got eaten by that snake?
Oh yeah, it turns out living inside a snake's belly is possible when you're mortal. Carving my way out was a nightmare though.
Remember that time when you challenged me to a duel?
Remember that time when you challenged Esquier to a duel?
Well, someone conveniently forgot to mention that Esquier is the most powerful creature in the world. Good times. Oh, and remember when...
I don't know, still don't know what
Times
these do.
indeed.
Still don't know what those relationship things do.
The Grandis is so gentle. Who's going to protect them while Monoko's gone?
They can take care of themselves.
Really?
They've got their bells. Don't worry.
What do the bells do?
Ringing the bells makes the Nevrons flee. Although, it only works on Nevrons with ears, so not every Nevron.
Well, now I'm worried.
Yeah. Actually, me too.
Welcome, all the viewers that are here. Hello, Conrad. What happened that you streamed in daylight? Fundraising for more Ukraine and the doctor's visit. Also, I'm gonna still stream at night later. Politics. Also joins melee with trying.
Throwing rocks again.
Mm-hmm. You should try.
Eskier would be horrified that we're throwing stones into the lake.
Or he'd be super happy because we're sending them soaring on fun little adventures.
Oh, so they're like little rock expeditioners.
Exactly.
Would that make you the paintress then?
Would that make you the paintress then?
Clearly, I'm Lumiere. I'm launching them on their journey and watching them from afar.
Huh.
Stone after stone after stone, knowing they'll never come back.
And knowing you'll never stop.
And knowing you'll never stop.
You get it?
Yeah, I enjoy depressing poetry too.
That doesn't surprise me.
Is that what you're writing in your notebook all the time? Depressing poetry.
It's not all depressing. Why, what do you write about? You don't seem like a sunshine and rainbows type.
Mostly poetic insults to use on Monoko. I'm currently comparing him to the backside of an owl.
Wow. Backside of an owl.
Actually, writing is cathartic for me. It helps. Getting the thoughts out of my head and onto the paper. Giving shape to my feelings.
Can I see?
Do I get to read yours?
Do I get to read yours?
Mine's kind of personal.
Well, so is mine.
Yeah, but I bet you secretly want people to read it.
Okay, fine. I'll let you read mine, if I get to read yours.
Okay, deal.
Be kind, though.
Yeah, I can't promise that.
Oh, level 2 relationship. How nice. Whatever that does. Well, we're level 2 now. That's cool, isn't it? Well, proves to be extremely critical of versus writing. Go back in the far address.
Okay. Then we've got You sure you don't want to be Verve?
Positive.
I'm gonna spend time with everybody, as I always do. I like spending time with friends. My whole thing. That's my whole, you know, what I do. I spend time with friends.
That armband looks nice.
Yeah, I guess it's official. We're part of that disaster expedition now.
Yeah, I guess it's official. We're part of the disaster expedition now.
What's up with you?
What's up with you? So, you want an armband too?
Maybe.
You barely have arms.
Not true. Anyway, I want a headband.
Your head is humongous. You're gonna need so much cloth.
I have a big brain.
All right, Monsieur Big Brain. I'll see what I can do.
Wow. Happy now?
Happy now?
Ooh, this is the nicest thing ever.
Which level are we at now? Level 3! Wow, best relationship I've got with this one. Cool. Best relationship. Let's see.
Feet. Really?
Don't worry. He's not interested in human feet.
And the bell?
A gift from the Grandis.
Amazing. I wonder if we can achieve something similar.
I'll stick to my swords. I'm not too keen on turning into a Nevron.
If we combine this with Pictos, could we selectively use Nevron abilities in battle?
Okay, you seem busy. I'll come back later.
And yet I can spend time.
I've been wondering, why stay on the continent alone? Why not return to Lumia?
I did. I went back. Helped with the rebuild. After the fracture, we didn't have anything. Food, shelter. None of it.
Things must have been chaotic then.
Nothing like the end of the world to bring out the best and worst in us. I almost miss those times. You know, the dome shield? My father and I helped build that.
Oh. Why'd you leave then?
Those early expeditions, they were search and rescue. We didn't know about the Paintress then. We just wanted to find our loved ones.
Aww.
Like my mother.
Oh.
I see. But this time, you didn't go back.
People didn't trust me. Guess I'm hard to trust.
Perhaps.
Guess they thought I knew more than I did. Halfway to the monolith, I was betrayed. Barely escaped. Kind of killed my interest in returning home. What about you? Do you miss home?
I spent my whole life studying the Paintress and the monolith. This is where I need to be.
What a long-winded way to avoid answering the question.
Yes, there are things I miss.
You paint such a vibrant picture.
If you must know what I really miss of viennoiserie.
Oh, good answer. I miss those too. What?
I enjoyed this conversation.
High praise.
Huh. We are level 2 now. We're tight. We are tight as I don't know, as you can get in this game.
Minoko seems fun.
Oh, yeah.
Bet you guys got up to lots of trouble together. You guys getting us into more trouble now?
An appropriate amount of trouble.
I've spent some time with Gestrals. I'm not sure we had the same definition of appropriate.
Let me guess. You've been to one of their arenas?
Reigning champion. Naturally.
Naturally.
Oh, no time to spend, huh? Oh. Press. Nice music. Let's write in the journal. spent some time writing Gustav's journal to honor his memory. She writes about their encounter with Monoka and how exciting it is to travel with Vagestal. She hopes Gustav's apprentices will read this journey someday. We're those who come after. Or so they say. Go to sleep. Whatever. Go to sleep. It's time to sleep. Time to sleep. To read later. Let me think. Good. What do we have here? Where am I going? I have an objective. Oh, I do. Oh, Lumiere is my objective. Alright. That is my objective. Go.
Here we go. Not impressed.
I'm ready.
Uh-oh. That was not good.
Parry it.
Good pleasure.
Finesse and precision.
Dead. Ay, 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 ay. Oh. Lucy Jose is ready. Oh. Whoa, whoa. What's that? 4 hours. Ay, 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 ay. Daddy, I have to fix the chat. It's going out of bounds. Out of bounds is not good. What time is it? Oh. Oh? A weapon upgraded. Level 9. Okay, let's go to Lumiere. I'm ready. Wait, have I been here before? Let's explore actually before. There should be more areas here to look over. What is this? What is this place here? This place.
I'm the fastest ball.
Huh. Let's go. Probably a shop here, or an item, or a haircut. I don't really change them much, but it's cool collect them, just in case. Whatever. Maybe rough. What do we have here? My being a poor was the form of a damned soul. In this day I am nothing but condemned. Yes, condemned to wander aimlessly as I have been separated from my companions. But I fear they were the ones who cut me off. I am vulnerable in this state. Will you be the one to deal the final blow? Did I die since my duty is unknown to me? Pardon me, I may not know the answers to your questions. If I do not know the nature of my state. Weren't you killed by Nebrons? Another concept that eludes me.
It's weird that they don't know about Nevrons.
Who are you? Are you perhaps explorers of some sort? Is this why you sought out this place? Wait, what? Wait, what are you talking about? I'm confused, though, Shilix. What do you mean? What are you talking about? What are you talking about? It's a complicated story. Please listen. I yearn for something. Oh. Yearn for what? Yet now. Beyond the cliff, something is resonating. In the hopes of remembering the path I must walk. I feel the answer
It's
is near.
possible they died before or during the fracture. Or perhaps they called Nevrons something else.
Beyond the cliff, something is resonating. Interesting, isn't it? Wait, is that it? That's it. Huh. Is there anything else here? I mean, it was sort of, kind of worth coming here. Oh wait, no, that's not it. There's more. Well, alright. There have to be some item. Some reward. It makes it worth to come here. Apart from this interesting conversation, of course. Mysterious plot thing that maybe I'll understand as I move forward in the game. Surely, I'll get it. Oh! Look at this. Rare loot that I probably can get. There we go. A whole place to explore. 1 out of 3. Just 2 more and we get the loot. Was a good choice to come here. Wasn't it? Now we have to keep our eyes peeled. I've already spotted the second one. Excellent. Third one could be anywhere. We already know where the second. Just a matter of time of finding the third. There we go. It's the third, isn't it? Go back. Get our reward. Just reward. What's it gonna be? really. Some money. That's the rare loot. A little bit of money. What's the most disappointing anticlimactic reward ever? I am disappointed, I'm not gonna lie. Blocked. Blocked? What are these things? Oh?
We'll have to go through the maze.
There's a maze here. Amazing. Get it? Amazing. I don't get it. I don't think you get it. Wait, what did I... Oh? Did I get through the maze? No, I did not. Oh, no, I just locked myself. Maybe I could shoot this from the side. Hate mazes. Locked. Got horrible aim.
This place is giving me a headache.
Me too. Where's the fighting?
There's the other side of the maze. I'm almost the exit. Oh! I'm out of the maze.
The door closed again.
Oh.
Spooky.
Pooky pooky. But we got through the maze. So, well done.
Useful?
Oh, as always. An advantage, even. Hold on. We are... Right now...
An advantage.
Yep. Indeed, an advantage. Yes. Yep.
Nice.
Why nice? What's this supposed to mean? Do? Any piece of junk and people get excited in this game. Yes, one man's junk is another man's treasure, they say. Hold on. Oh. Wait, what? Oh. Got it. That was it. The maze was just for this. What a disappointing place. Is this Ohio? Yeah, very disappointing. Sorry, I've never been to Ohio, so I don't know. I am, however, disappointed by this place. I'm not gonna lie. I've explored and explored, expected more. I got a maze, and at the end of the maze there was no real cool reward. What the hell? So sad. Whatever. Let's explore the map a little bit more. You know, it's a very disappointing development. It happens though, to the best of us. Also, as always, if you like what I do, my super moral politics, then you know, you could consider joining lucyhaze.org/live and supporting your favorite streamer. Hold on, I got the link here. What a coincidence. What a beautiful coincidence. I've got the link just here, ready to be pasted. You did not see that coming, did you? I've come prepared. I'm a professional. You've never seen such a professional such as I. Yep. I'm as professional as they come. None of these amateur hijinks. Alright, let's go explore the map some more before we go to the city of Lumiere. And then we're gonna watch a video between games or something. I'm interested. Wait, hold on. No, wrong place. Oh, item! Never mind. I want this item.
Useful?
It is useful. It's more than useful, it's super useful. Ultra mega duper useful. What is here? Oh, I knew it. Do I have a haircut for me? A skirt. Too many skirts in this game.
Thomas of the 47th Drunken Brigade.
Huh.
Been
What a
regiment's been
voice.
calling us the Drunken Brigade.
Drunken Daddy.
I love it. Yeah, we do our best work after a few. The trick is finding that perfect point where your nerves have calmed enough that your mind and body are one, but not so calm that your reactions are dulled.
Wow, perfect
Some of
advice.
us haven't quite managed riding that edge. But I remain in full control of my body and thoughts.
Indeed.
Sounds like someone spotted another Neveron. Better fuel up for our next dance. For Lumiere!
Like a dwarf. Sounds like a dwarf. I'm sorry. Very funny. Oh. So many expeditions. They've all failed miserably, haven't they? How sad. Oh wait, what is this? What is... Have I been here before? Seems like... Seems very...
Oh, this looks like fun.
This looks like a waste of time.
Welcome to the most fiendish challenge of all. What is this place? What is this? Oh no! Parkour! Okay, let's go for the reward. Forgot to use the jump button. Oh my god, the parkour. Can you fail? I don't even know if you can fail. He's like one of those treacherous parkour pain in the ass. I don't think you can fail this. I hope. Falling at the last second would be horrible. Can you actually fail at this? I don't wanna find out the hard way. Okay. Oh my gosh. It's so high up here. Okay, thank God this game does not torture you with some really ridiculous parkour. That's it. I do get stressed. Oh my god. Kind of feel like you can fail, but kind of feels like you cannot. I'm afraid to look it up. I rather just believe that I'm super good at this rather than think that you just cannot fail this. What is this statue? FF14 has stressed me for life when it comes to these. You can fail! You can fail. All this time I thought you could not because it felt so easy, but you can fail. Oh. Oh no. Oh no, 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 no. Hell no. But now I have to get to the top. I simply have to get to the top. Oh my god. This is so stressful. This is the worst. This is the worst thing ever. This is the worst thing ever. Trust me when I say that. Whoever is still here. Oh my god. Oh, I cannot believe this crap. This treacherous little game made me believe that you cannot fail this parkour. Because it felt so easy and all of a sudden I just failed. Son of a gun. Yeah, you can fail. Oh god. Have I been just doing so well on my first try because I thought you cannot fail? Incredible. It's incredible. Now now that I know how you can fail, I'm failing all of the time. On the simplest things. That's my psychology. That's how my brain operates. When I think I cannot fail, I don't. I learn that I can. Immediately. That is typical. Yes, I get it. The parkours. Why do these games always have to have those parkours? No! Oh. And I fell in the most stupid part ever. How did I even do that? I should not have fell there. It's the stupidest part to fail. At least fail at a difficult part. That would have been less frustrating, but failing at a silly part is annoying. Was it here that I failed? Or here? No, it was further in. Further in. Or somewhere around here. Lucy. Hi Lucy, sudden doctor's visit. It's not for me, it's for my mom. But yes. Hello. Okay, let's not fail now. Oh! What do I do now? Oh, I've been here already. I failed further up. What happened? She just needs a visit and she's having a little bit of problem. It's a long story. It's annoying. Let's just say that and leave it at that. Whoop. No! How? How did I mess up such an easy jump? I messed up the easiest jump in history. And for what? For what? God. Okay. I guess that's gonna earn me some viewership, right? People love streamers failing and raging at those stupid parkour crap mini games. Isn't that right? I fail at the easiest crap. That's my modus operandi, isn't it? Isn't it frustrating, Raider? This kind of parkour crap. Does it not make your blood boil? But apparently there's an amazing reward waiting for me. And it's better be the best thing ever, okay? Because if this is some crap reward like, oh my god, congratulations, you're at the top. Here's your 100 money. I'm gonna lose it. It's gonna be like that. It's gonna be... It's not gonna be a pretty sight if that happens. Let me tell you what. It's gonna be not nice. It's gonna be very not nice. Oh boy. Oh. Where do I go now? Did I get stuck? I'm not at the top yet, right? I'm supposed to go somewhere from here, right? Oh, here. There we go. No, 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 no! Oh, that was so easy and I'm... Oh, God. How are you, Greater Rain? That was the worst thing ever. But I still won the reward. You see. Okay, I guess I have a headache today. How are you? Alright. I'm fine. I'm just fine. I'm just fine. Yeah, rest in peace. Rest in pieces, more like. Co jest? Rosomaku? No? He came here to me. Mr. Fido. What's the... And he toppled the bottle with my drink, of course. He came, he saw, he conquered. The bottle of Pepsi. Ah, so pissed at this parkour. The worst thing ever. Well, welcome. We now have 5 viewers. 5 beautiful viewers. Did you know that 5 is the number of God? It used to be 7, but now it's 5. I've decided so. Hi, hello. Hello, Arkar. Welcome to this beautiful, beautiful party. It's a barrel of laughs. Now it's 6. Now 6 is the number of God. I got a batch of estrogen today. I'm almost ready. I'm almost ready to head out to Ukraine again. Need a little bit of money. Although I have some stuff arranged. Or will it be enough to travel? That's a question. Oh. No. That is the question. What can I do? Then there's the doctor thing. You should focus helping your mom and making content with the interviews and filming better. I don't have enough to do anything with it yet. Okay. I go here. Here. Whoa, my god, that roll almost screwed me over again. Gosh. No! Why did I jump? I didn't want to jump, I wanted to climb. God, this game. Oh god. Well, it's not so bad. I didn't fall that far. And and it's the same button as jump, of course, to make it a pain in the ass. The climbing has to be the same button as jumping. If a man is 5, then devil is 6, and if the devil is 6, then God is 7. No, whatever number of viewers is right now on the screen, that's the number of God. That's my new rule. So 6 is the number of God right now. Till more people arrive on the stream. At the stream. In this, whatever, you know what I mean. You know perfectly well what I mean. Don't pretend. It used to be, but now it's not. Not anymore. I've declared so. I've decreed so. It used to be 7, but since there are 6 people here, now it's 6. It used to be 5 just moments ago. It upgraded. It upgraded from 5 to 6. How wonderful. This is the beautiful development. Okay, we're gonna run and jump. Run and jump. A lot of these little annoying furnitures. Oh my god, I almost fell. That almost fell. Horrible. Oh. Ah, my goodness. We're almost there. We're almost at the top, I think. I think the 7 is then with the Nurgle. Yeah. Hold on. Can I just... Why can't I just press... Why can't I just get here? Oh, come on, really? Usually I could just do that thing from this distance. No! Ah! Where am I? Where the hell am I? Oh god, no. Please, no. Don't tell me. Okay, I run and jump. Okay, this game is just teasing me now with this crap. No! This general precision platformer implies the existence of sloppy platformers. Oh, God. What the hell was that? Why couldn't I just... You know... You're seeing an unusual amount of rage from me. I'm usually such a composed person. I never get angry. You believe that, don't you? I never get angry. At all. Whatever happens, I'm always so composed. And stuff. I'm like the Buddha. Or something. Anger does not exist in my world. There's only balance and composure. And smelling salt. Okay, I did not fall. That's good. That is improvement. That is... Okay, what the hell was that? What the hell was that jump? Maybe a different character would be better for the parkour. This obstacle course is going to turn you to the dark side of the force. It will. It will. Yes. And then I'm gonna kill all the younglings. Or something. Something's gonna happen. Wow. Somehow I can do this from this distance here, but later on I cannot because I have no clue. I have no clue why I cannot just do this later on. I guess the game just wants to spite me. Because it knows that I hate parkour. It just baits me with some sort of a reward. This seems like a sloppy platformer. I know. It's the typical added parkour crap to a game. It's still not as bad as Final Fantasy XIV, mind, but... oh boy. It's not great. Final Fantasy XIV parkour like heavily depends on the clunkiness and horribleness. It's painful. This one's annoying. Final Fantasy XIV parkour is painful. Then again, up until this point I've been wondering why is there even jumping in this game, so, you know, I guess this is the answer. They added jumping just for this section. This parkour section of the game. No, no, please, no! No! Oh, God. As expected. As expected of this development. Oh well. What was that? There was a character, like a ghost. Okay, after this we're gonna relax by watching a video about war. How's that? How does that feel? Watching a nice video about war. Doesn't that sound like a relaxing time? Sounds like a good time to me. Whoa, 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 whoa. Wow, I cannot believe I get no encouragement from the chat. Oh, 7. Now 7 is again. 7 is again just the number of God. This is the Bubsy's really of Souls like. It does have a little bit of a Souls like vibe, doesn't it? I had to put food in the oven. Whoa! We're gonna do this until we do it. I swear to God, we're not stopping until we do it. I'm committed now. We're getting this. We're getting through with this. We're like no ifs and buts about it. It's like there's not gonna be no. It's like no. No, 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 no. It's not. Failure is not an option. You understand me? Failure is not an option. It has never been an option, never will be an option. wonder if there's any progress with whatever. I'll just stress myself more. Not worth it. Not worth it. Okay. Oh. Okay, we're doing it. I hope. Okay. Okay. What? How did I miss? How did I miss this? Why did I do this weird turn in midair? What the hell happened here? I was jumping straight ahead. What is this janky crap? What the hell happened with the jump? I was so careful as well. What the hell is this? Well, thank God I didn't fall super hard. Hello, Zoshalix, what happened? Did something happen? Did something happen? You got some good news for me? Believe in the we that believe in you. Also, this music is bizarrely upbeat. Is it gonna all of a sudden change into Chained Together? No, it's just a side thing that I decided in my... Whoa! In my masochistic tendency to do. What? Oh! Me, you cannot be serious. You cannot be serious. You cannot be serious. I thought this was no, come on. I thought it was over. I thought I was at the top. But that was it. This cannot be real. No. There should be a checkpoint. How much further do we go up? Oh my God. This cannot be real. But I would fall here. No! Why? Why did I agree to do this? Because the game baited me with some ultra reward, that's why. The game told me there would be the best reward ever if I reach the top. I'm starting to think that the reward is probably something really stupid, like, as a reward, we congratulate you for getting to the top. I bet it's gonna be something stupid like that. I can feel it in my bones. It's gonna be something like, congratulations, you did it. Now you can go down. Thanks, you've accomplished. The accomplishment is the reward itself, and I'm just gonna want to destroy this game. I'm gonna want to delete this game, okay? I made it? No way! Dance with us now. Welcome to the crew. I did it! Dance with us now. I did it! You made it, you're cool too. I am cool. You know what? I am cool. What's the reward? Okay, what's the reward? Yeah, thank you very much. That's the reward. Oh really? An expedition? I certainly wasn't expecting that. At your present choice, prove that you climbed the tower like all of us here. You can live here once now forever. Oh god, that's the reward? Screw you! Give me a reward! Give me an actual reward. Or else I'll be pissed. Actually, we can't really do that. Oh. Well then, a souvenir. This is the ultimate Gestalt uniform. Outfit! An outfit? That's the reward. I don't even know who this is for. Who is that? Where's the outfit? Who is it for? Is that it? That's the reward. Kill me now. That's the reward. Are you... This cannot be serious. This cannot be the reward. Ugh. Why did I do this? The reward is the friends we've made along the way. I haven't made any friends along the way in this. There were no friends. I was alone. What friends? I haven't made any friends along the way. If only I had, I would have been able to accept this crap. But no, I have not made any friends along the way. That's not a thing. This cannot be real. You know what? If you feel pity for me, if you feel sorry for me, this is the perfect moment for me to be like, if you feel pity for me, then why not join this page? And donate or subscribe. I'm in need of funds. Lock in and all that stuff, like Xander Hall would say. I have to e-bag today more than I have ever e-bagged before. Because... you know. Right? It's all in the title of the stream. I don't think I have to. Where is it? Hold on. Oh my god. This game has everything? It does, doesn't it? Hold on, I'm sorry, I've been just... One moment, I'll be right back. So yes, consider joining the page and helping me out as your favorite streamer, you know. Also, consider inviting your friends, family, and colleagues to the stream because it's wonderful. Isn't that right? Alright. Welcome, viewers. Fido is here. We're all here. We're all happy. Lucky, go. Quacky. Why did I do this? Why did I even... Chodź, Fido. No chodź do mnie. Chodź, Fido. Chodź, Fido. Fido, chodź. Chodź, buziaku. He doesn't trust me. He knows I'm up to no good. Anything else? Really? That's... I just wanna jump now. I just wanna jump. There's really nothing else. Oh my god. Really? There's nothing else. There's no dream, there's just a nightmare. All I wanna do now is jump. Jump! I'm so disappointed. I've never been more disappointed. Oh well, I'm jumping. Shit. What a long jump. Oh, it's not that long actually. Okay, let's get out of here. That was not cool. So, how's everybody doing? Now that we're over this hurdle. I think like how Parker has some editing to do. I gotta put up some more. Oh man. I'm gonna be stressed about this forever. Nobody's here? Have I been left? Have I been abandoned by my chatters? What's this? Wait, what was that? What did I get?
You're outmatched.
Let the ink flow. Feel the burn.
Watch out. Bring it on.
I'm at work. Hello, lettuce. Oh, wow, you're ready at work? It's not even night yet. You said you were doing a night shift.
Your turn to dance.
Oh my gosh.
A bit of violence, yes. Oh, really?
Yeah. Six PM to 6 AM. Oh, that's rough. Wow. That is rough, actually. Oof. I'm hoping to do a thing on Nikon. Oh well. The thing that I wrote. We're gonna try again.
Time for a swim swim.
True, it is time for a swim swim. What even is this? What is this? What did that do? Oh! It unlocked a bridge. Is this a shortcut? It's a shortcut! How quaint. I've unlocked a shortcut. Well, what do you know? Isn't that cool? I think it's cool. I bet this fight has a better reward than the parkour, by the way.
Let's spill some ink. Take down their shields.
I'll use your fire.
Feel the burn. I'm ready.
Oh, right.
Get ready. Watch out, Mael.
Well, they are pretty telegraphed, so as that explains. Okay, that's... I pressed the button.
Last ditch.
Target marked.
This pisses me off a bit.
I'd love a dance.
The worst part is that it's so telegraphed.
Foolish move.
Should be able to avoid it. I feel like this fight gives you something good, so I keep wanting to do it. Against my better judgment. I feel like you get a good reward. I keep doing things in hopes of great rewards, and then I just end up disappointed somehow. That's just, I guess that's how it goes. That is how it goes. I'm a sucker for this sort of thing. Impressive. Oh yeah, you didn't know? It's a really good game as well. Okay, we're gonna win this fight and then we're gonna watch a conversation about war. I promise you, we're gonna do some politicking. I owe it to you after all this hardcoring.
I'm the fastest ball.
Oh. I pressed it. I feel like I pressed it perfectly. Okay, I dodged this one. Oh god. No, I don't think so.
Cut through the flames.
Thank you.
That's cover power. Disaster expedition.
Okay, I dodged one at least.
Let's push
That's
forward.
good.
Watch out, Mael.
I'm ready. Lunate, watch out.
Watch out.
Let the ink flow.
Alright.
Watch out, my Al.
Oh, I dodged most
Not
of
looking
it.
good.
I'm not gonna say that I dodged all of
Sorry,
it,
stay on.
but I dodged a lot of it.
Watch out, my Al.
Oh, we did get good equipment from this, actually. Level 11 weapons. You know what? I accept this. Hold on. It's your weapon that became 11, right? Yes! Excellent! Now this I can accept. Hold on. This is stronger, actually. Alright, perfect. No way, and I got a sweet reward.
Lovely.
Okay, that was worth it, I feel like. That was worth doing all over and over again. Hello. Fun. And I got a few new haircuts as well. Wasn't that great? Wasn't that worth it? Was that worth all the hustle? I feel like that warranted a congratulations or something. I feel like that was pretty good. Wasn't it? Wasn't it pretty good?
Spill some ink.
Feel the burn.
Please survive.
Watch out.
Oh.
Just try it.
No margin for error.
I'll manage. Really need it.
Lune, watch out.
The third attack got me.
Just try it.
I won't waste this.
Try not to.
My turn.
I tried. I tried to parry it.
Brace yourselves. Let's push forward.
I so tried to parry it.
I'm ready.
Huh. Hey, they're also French, that's true.
It likes you.
There we go. That's a good
Sweet
start.
taste of battle.
Doing in. Not today.
That's more like it.
Wait, what's the gradient attack? What? No. He's hiding it with his bell. What the hell? Mighty Strike. Very good. I should have dodged this, I feel like.
It's locked on you.
How did I not dodge this? Whatever. Doesn't matter. Sometimes things are unfair.
If I die,
Very
so
bad.
be it.
I saw your future. I'm waiting.
No, I failed. Okay, I promised. I promised that I'd watch the video, so I guess I'll watch the video now. It's gonna be the thing that we're gonna do now. Oh my gosh. Ah, if I did promise. For some reason. Wait, there was something else? Okay, let's quit the game, I guess. Quit. And now we're gonna watch the thing. We're gonna do some politicking because you are all here for the politicking, aren't you? You're not here for games. Fun and games are for children. And we're not children, we're grown-ass adults with depression and stuff. We don't have time for fun and happiness. We only have time for genocide and misery, like adults. Hold on. Oh, once again, I cannot find the... Expedition 33, clip window. Get triangle browser. There we go. Found it. This is the conversation that we're gonna watch now. Why war doesn't work? Alright? This is the thing that we're watching now. Take notes. Pay a close attention. Because this is like a thing. This is a conversation that needs to be had. Okay? Okay. Alright. The hell is happening?
For 5 years, you were in charge of the US military's most elite commandos.
Right.
You found Saddam. You killed the head of Al-Qaeda in Iraq. Are you familiar with The Onion?
I am.
Okay, let me show you this Onion headline. 80%.
Here you go. It's gonna be about this. Are you excited for this conversation? I am. More than you know. War, I hardly know her. True.
Of Al-Qaeda number 2's now dead. Now, General,
Looks so happy.
I take your smile. You understood the joke.
Absolutely.
Did The Onion get it more right than the
Generals. Generals. Who doesn't like generals?
US
Generally
military?
speaking.
Well, The Onion was wrong. We killed the number 3s. We killed, I don't know how many number 3s. And we used to joke about it, but the point's exactly right. And
wait, so just for the analogy, if you're looking at a super team,
yeah,
you didn't get MJ, you didn't get Scotty, but you blew up Dennis Rodman?
yeah, over and over again.
And maybe you got Luke Longley?
Yeah, I mean, just...
And then Bill Wennington?
Exactly. And
What?
Well, you get who you can get. And
I mean, General, I do think killing the Bill Wennington of Al-Qaeda...
Okay, what the hell is with the extension crap? I hate it. There we go, we gotten rid of it. I don't know why I get this. Why I get harassed by this.
Isn't worth it.
There we go. Perfect.
4-star General Stanley McChrystal
I've been
spent 1
recommended
year
to-
commanding U.S. and NATO forces in Afghanistan after spending 5 years commanding the Pentagon.
Look at him. Looks so young here. I've been recommended to watch this, so we're watching this now.
Most secretive operations in Iraq as the head of JSOC, Joint Special Operations Command. His unit captured Saddam Hussein and killed Abu Musab al-Zarqawi, the head of Al-Qaeda in Iraq. And I was honestly surprised when he wanted to come on my show because we have very different perspectives on the US military. But I wanted to have an open, good faith conversation, and he was game for that, which I respect. Now here's my talk with General Stanley McChrystal about his new book on character, Choices That Define a Life, and about some of the choices that define his own life.
Let's talk about the book. You have written a book specifically on character. You are a 4-star general. I am a 0-star comedian. One of the things that you had to oversee as a 4-star general is the state of the geopolitical world. Right now, the state of the geopolitical world is dare I say nuts. We're on the verge of World War III. If you could give us Vegas odds over or under, how stable is the world right now? And should I get ready to hit the bunker immediately?
I wouldn't be far from the bunker. I think we're at very dangerous times. Well, if you think back to many times, there are disagreements between nations. There are maybe the rising of a dictator who is likely to start a war. What we've had in the last, call it a couple of decades, is this erosion of relations between nations. We never thought there'd be another ground war in Europe. And now for 3 years, we've seen a grinding war in Europe.
Yeah,
And
Ukraine.
so as we start not to respect institutions or nations or each other.
Listen, never say never. Never assume that something will never happen, okay? You'll just end up very miserable and disappointed if you just, oh, this could never happen. This could never happen here. This could never happen there. Europe is safe from war forever. Never assume such things because you'll just end up with your trousers down and whatever. You know what I mean. You know exactly what I mean. And if you don't know, then that just means you're either not listening or you're not here.
The likelihood that we have some kind of conflict.
Very smartly, I took on the headphones and I paused the video so I could not hear anything. That's my style of reaction to videos. Where I cannot hear what I'm reacting to. That's my ticket. I didn't know it's only 3 years since 2014. I mean, he means the full-scale invasion. I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt, okay? He means a full-scale war. But yeah, you're right. It's not been just 3 years since 2014. Listen, he's an American, okay? All of us here know where the war started, but apparently the West does not understand. The West does not understand. It's, in fact, I would like to remind you that our own domestic president-elect said that in 2017 or 18 there was no war in Ukraine. So, you know, our own president-elect does not know that the war started in 2014, and he's a historian allegedly. How are we listening? How are we listening to? Via the headphones. We are listening to the general that took part in killing Al-Qaeda. So yeah. This guy. General Stanley McChrystal.
Like just goes through the roof.
That's what you talk about in your book on character, which is it's your personal musings on leadership, character, and specifically.
I wonder if they're gonna talk about Ukraine. I wonder if there's gonna be any discussion about Ukraine past this mention.
Now, I took this and your recent New York Times op-ed as a little bit of a sneak diss of the current president. Is that true?
I'm trying not to talk about any specific personality because, you know, we trip over policies and politics and personalities. And what we ought to be talking about is character because, as we would describe it in the military, it's left of the boom. It's before you actually have a problem. What are the root causes?
Oh boy. Let's forget about policy. Let's just talk about character.
And so I think that we have lost sight of the fact that character, in many cases, the lack of character is we're seeing the symptoms through certain personalities. And
what does that even mean, character and lack of character? Okay? That is such a vague term that it's meaningless. Character. Did Stalin have character? Did he lack character? What does that even mean?
Actions in our society.
Are there particular...
I hate these sort of vague, meaningless sound bites. Let's talk about character instead of pesky stuff like politics and policy.
Moments that inspired you to write this, that you saw? oh, wow, there's been a fundamental erosion of particular either democratic norms or social norms that you said, I have to speak on this? Because you did meet the press.
Maybe in the US, but it's not exactly a new phenomenon around the world. You haven't noticed.
Publicly
And it's
endorsed.
not really particular. It's actually pretty, I don't know, textbook. If I'm going to be nitpicky and mean about this, it's not very particular.
Kamala Harris. But I felt when I was watching that clip of you, you felt deeply personally moved to speak on that issue.
Do you feel like America is for the first time experiencing something like this and are like, oh my gosh, this is so specific and peculiar and all that stuff?
What have you seen at large, kind of in society, that made you go, you know what, I got to speak on this now?
Yeah, I've seen a bunch of things. I've seen in the last couple of decades, maybe I've been watching more closely, politicians who on one day stand up and they absolutely espouse certain values. Sometimes they're admirable. And then a couple months later, they flip-flop and they support something that is completely the opposite of what they said before. Now, maybe they had...
Oh yeah, completely new phenomenon. That has never happened in politics before. Never, ever.
An epiphany and they changed what they think. I don't think so. I think it was opportunism.
It must be the Gen Z thing.
I see the way we have public discourse, the way we describe people. When I see how we treat our allies, I'm really bothered. And so it's a buildup of a lower standard of behavior, lower standard of respect, lower standard of personal conduct, and then you can extrapolate that to organizations and unfortunately to the nation.
One of the things that gets thrown around on the internet often is we are descending into fascism. Our president is a dictator. Now, as someone whose unit actually captured Saddam Hussein, an actual dictator, how close are we to our president going full Green Beret and wearing military fatigues?
Yeah.
That is some of the stupidest, that is the stupidest question I've ever heard. What, if someone's not Saddam Hussein, then they're not a dictatorial guy? If someone's not exactly like Saddam Hussein, then they're not authoritarian. Is that what I'm supposed to... It's like saying that if a genocide does not meet the criteria of the Holocaust exactly, then it's not a real genocide. It's this sort of level of discussion that we are entering now with this question. Okay. Listen, there's a lot of talk about genocide in this or that place. So tell me, how close are we to gas chambers? Like, brainless discourse. And I hate it. I don't know. I didn't expect to have such commentary, but I'm feeling a bit snarky today. Today I feel snarky.
It's hard to say. I think that the danger is...
Putin doesn't wear a beret, so I guess he's not a dictator. True. Listen, Putin has been democratically elected. What are you talking about? What did you expect from a podcast? True.
If we start thinking that's okay, because humans being what they are, almost anyone put in a very powerful position is going to try to pull together more power, gather more power. I worry that if we as a nation and the people around that aren't vigilant to protect us against ourselves. I mean, let's be honest. If you made me president for life tomorrow, I would start off and I'd be a great guy. And I'll bet in a couple of years, you wouldn't want to have me on your show.
Sure.
You know?
Okay.
I mean, that's me. And I think I'm probably average.
Okay. I'd love to actually poll family members to find out how they feel about you, General. So one of the things that you're alluding to, and you're being very respectful, and I do appreciate that. But one of the key critiques that we hear in the media
also, it's
is
not just about having power, it's how you use it. That's a pretty significant component of the puzzle, I would think.
Our current president isn't operating from a place of character. Specifically, the president is operating from a place of emotion. It's very emotional.
Wait, are you saying that emotion is not part of character? Since when is emotion not part of character? That's silly. That's why I hate these fate terms. He's not operating from character, he's operating from emotion. Trump's like a woman. Trump's such a womanly president. Well, hold on. What is character? The way someone thinks, feels, and behaves. God. This is so stupid. Again. You're not operating from character, you're operating from emotion.
His supporters argue that he's playing 4D chess. Sometimes I feel like he's shooting from the hip. Do you agree with that?
Feeling emotion is not character, no. You need to... Character is when you're a robot, logical robot, a machine that just calculates everything.
Kind of premise of what I'm laying out.
Well, my views...
No, it's stupid. Come on. Everybody is operating from... At the end of the day, as much as we like to pretend that we're logical and brilliant, most of us operate from emotion, okay? Most of our decisions are dictated by emotion of some kind. Fido. Wushu. 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 So that whole premise is stupid.
On President Trump are out there. I've come out before, but I'd say he's not standing alone.
Fido. She's looking at me with this suspicious look. Guess after this, I'm gonna get out with him. God.
In a field.
Character is when you don't feel anything. True. That is true character. That is the perfect character. Perfect character is when you don't feel anything.
And that. I think the number of people who are operating outside of character or without character is the disturbing part. And if we find ourselves...
There is no such thing as operating without character. I know what they're saying, at least the general is saying. For him, character is probably something like having principles, having consistent principles, and sticking to your guns no matter what. But Trump does have character in that case. He operates on profit and what he can get and gain. That's character in a way. Like, the character is such a vague, meaningless term, I swear. Okay? Character is when you act the way I like, basically. There are many people that would argue that he has character. What now? Like, I don't like this.
In the field with them, we got to wake up and get out of there, because the reality is it's that erosion that is the dangerous part. It's not the power of a single person in our government is somewhat limited, but the power of a bunch of people who are not willing to be the checks and balances, that's fatal.
How do we get here? I'm 39 years old. Some of the most formative years of my life were the war on terror. I think about this, I go, well, the war, that word, the war on terror.
Oh my god, Fido likes to eat shells now. Fido! 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 Fido? Alright, sorry. Sorry about that. I had to scold him. Scold him good. I suck at typing. Deco. Fido. He just... Fido! He just waits for me not to look and keeps biting on the shelf. And it pisses me off. The shelf is not your stick. Fido! Okay. The erosion. The erosion of character.
That's actually just a war on an emotion, a feeling, terror. You are terrorized.
Yeah, that's the whole point of terror, genius. Of evoking emotions of fear. Congratulations, you figured out what terror is and what it means. A lot of deterrence is in fact based on emotion, believe it or not. You make the other person afraid to make a move because they would fear the consequence of making that move. Have you considered that? That the whole concept of deterrence is based on that? If people didn't care, did not fear anything, then they would not, the deterrence would not work. Have you thought of that? Ever? Sometimes emotion is pretty important. Even in big boy affairs. Oh gosh.
Or you feel fear, anguish, terror.
Yeah. Well done. Deep analysis. The shelf is not stick shaped.
Wouldn't Donald Trump be the natural endpoint of fighting a 20-year war on a feeling?
I think he's...
Also, that's stupid. It's not a war on feel. This guy thinks he's deep, but there are no legs on this shelf, actually. They're mounted to the wall. It's not. It doesn't have shelf. It doesn't have legs. Does the shelf have character? No, only emotion. It operates from emotion and not character.
He's the natural endpoint of that and of some other things. I think he's a natural endpoint of frustration with the idea that elites have gathered disproportionate amounts of power and wealth.
Yeah, that's why, because people are frustrated with the elite giving so much, they've elected a rich guy who decided to give tax cuts to that elite. Congratulations, that's brilliant. That is the greatest thing I've ever heard. We hate the elite, therefore we elect the elite. Because let's not mince words. Trump is part of the elite.
And that much of the country feels like they are not been represented. I think this...
Yeah, Trump really is the representative of the common man. For a joke.
Idea that the world is out to take advantage of us, and in some cases to attack and kill us. And all of those things stir...
So they decided to elect the everyday man that would take care of them. Great job.
Up emotions that I usually associate with tribalism. You link arms together and you say, we're going to defend ourselves because we can only trust each other.
Yeah.
And that's dangerous, because as soon as you start that, you start to immediately characterize everybody else as them, as the enemy.
Yeah.
And then, of course, once you think of them that way, at some point they become...
And you really wax poetically about that point, about people's humanity, not only your own humanity, the people that you serve with, but even when you've served in war, their humanity. A couple things I wanted to unpack on, because we're talking about character, we're talking about emotion. When you look at U.S. history, has the United States, in your mind, responded to crisis?
This is such deep psychology that I just cannot unpack it on my own. I have to listen to the wise people from this show. Wow. Brilliant. It is really something when a comic is better informed and hard-hitting interviewer than anyone in the general media, right, left, or middle. People have such low standards for interview that I don't even. It makes me so depressed that people have this sort of non-existent standard for what makes good interviewing.
Emotionally or stoically and calmly?
I think emotionally in almost every case. If you look at the beginning of the U.S. Civil War, if you look at the Spanish-American War,
Yeah, what do you know? Humans are emotional creatures, and most decisions that we make are based on how we feel about those decisions, and not much else. We rationalize it, but you know what? At the end of the day, the decision is made based on how we feel about the decision. Okay? It's not a rational thing that later we feel a certain way about. No, we first feel, then we create the rational explanation for why we do it. That's the reality of the situation. Brilliant.
destruction of the Maine, you look at the sinking of the Lusitania, and then the Zimmerman telegram that brought us into the First World War. But that's natural. I mean, we shouldn't be shocked. We shouldn't even be embarrassed by that.
Thank you. General is okay in my book for saying that.
But why haven't we've learned our lesson though by that?
Why haven't we learned our lesson and stopped being human? Why can't we just stop being human, you know? Why can't we get rid of the thing that defines us? You know, our emotions. What do you mean? What do you want, a lobotomy?
You're clearly laying out the patterns here.
Right. Every generation has to learn their lesson again. We read history, but we make many of the same mistakes. If you think the internment of Japanese Americans in World War II, and then the Patriot Act after 9/11, I would say they rhyme. And so this idea that emotion is large. When I taught my course at Yale to freshmen, I used to do one session on the 9/11 attacks. And they were young enough when it happened that they didn't have the feel for the moment.
Sure.
But I had them watch the videos and listen to the 911 calls so that they would understand just how viscerally emotional that was. And when that happens, when in their life, when something equivalent happens, they are going to be equally emotional.
Yeah.
And they will want to do something.
I remember being in high school. At that time, the two emotions that people felt, I could feel it in the air: fear and anger.
Correct.
We have to do something about this. And I remember George Bush said it very clearly. Number one, you're either with us or you're with the terrorists. And number two,
I mean, you don't need to be there doing 9/11, so see the way that the media was spinning it years out later.
Can't let the terrorists win. And then for some reason, at some point, we had to go buy trucks because that helped America. So I had to go to Toyotathon.
Yeah, I mean,
even though those cars were made in Japan.
Yeah, I don't think that was very well thought out, but it should be instructive, because the instructive part is not what happened on 9/11. There were mistakes made that allowed...
I'm far more critical of this than I thought I would be, by the way. I thought it would be much more cool, like laid back about this video, but it seems like I'm just being a nasty, awful piece of work about it. I didn't expect that.
9/11 happened. But what we did afterwards...
My inner Polish person has just emerged all of a sudden without any warning or explanation.
Yeah.
There were a number of mistakes made, but they weren't made with bad intentions. They were made...
For now, I'll just settle on interviewing children that have been traumatized by war.
By good people with
and parents.
Good intentions, working hard. That should be what we pay attention to. Because if we look and we say George W. Bush was the guy who was wrong, we'll blame him. We were all part of that. And so we've got to understand that dynamic is repeatable. And so when that comes again next time, will we be a little bit wiser, or will we at least recognize that that dynamic is growing?
I mean, what scares me the most, General, is I don't think we'll learn that lesson. And one of my favorite artists has this great quote: "History repeats itself and then deletes itself." That's one of my favorite.
It does not, and it does not. That's stupid.
Rocky artist. His name is Narcy. But General McChrystal, for 5 years, we can kind of break this down for the audience and how this plugs
It
into
absolutely does not repeat itself, and it definitely does not delete itself. What sort of an artist is that says such stupid things?
the book. For 5 years, you were in charge of the U.S. military's most elite commandos. You found Saddam. You killed the head of Al-Qaeda in Iraq. Are you familiar with The Onion?
I am.
Okay. Let me show you this Onion headline. This is from 2006. It says 80% of Al-Qaeda number 2's now dead. Now, General, I'm not here to explain comedy, but I take your smile, you understood the joke.
Absolutely.
That you cannot kill your way out of a political problem. Did The Onion get it more right than the U.S. military?
Well, The Onion was wrong. We killed the number 3s. Number 2 was Zawahiri, so you had Osama bin Laden and Zawahiri, but we killed I don't know how many number 3s, and we used to joke about it. But the point's
Beautiful.
exactly right. When I first got involved after 9/11, I came back from Afghanistan. I was then went to Pentagon, and
Wait. So just for the analogy, if you're looking at a super team,
yeah,
you didn't get MJ, you didn't get Scotty, but you blew up Dennis Rodman,
yeah, over and over again,
and maybe you got Luke Longley,
yeah. I mean, just
and then Bill Wennington.
exactly. And well, you get who you can get, and there was an idea that if
And
we
what it is.
decapitated Al-Qaeda,
Yeah.
that we would take the energy out of the organization.
Okay.
But the energy wasn't in the head of that organization. It was in the ideas of that organization. It was in the sense of humiliation felt across the Islamist world. So
It always
you
is.
really had to step back and say, what's the energy that is causing people to follow somebody as extreme as Osama bin Laden or Ayman al-Zawahiri? And we tried to do that. I'm not going to say we
Who put him in charge? How did he become the leader of the country? What geopolitical circumstance has led the situation in that land to be as it was? Who cares? Who cares about that? Nobody does.
stupid.
Nobody
We weren't.
does.
And we
I mean, General, I do think killing the Bill Wennington of Al-Qaeda isn't worth it.
Nobody cares.
operationally, there's a value to do that. And you are trying to tamp down the value or the violence and the effectiveness of the organization.
Go clean up your own mess, by the way.
So I don't buy the idea that there's no value in that. My point is that it's necessary but not sufficient. The real effort is cultural and political. It's trying to get at the root causes of it. But
It's not. Okay, if we really got to the root causes of it, then, oh boy, we'd have a little bit of a discussion, wouldn't we, on our hands, again, with the question of how did this guy come to power in the first place? Who put him there? Who enabled him? What were the international relations? What were the whatever? We're not. The bottom line is we're not getting to the root cause. Not even close.
if I went into a rally of Americans at any point during that war, and I said, okay, we're going to kill Osama bin Laden, I'd have gotten standing ovation, a lot of cheers.
Yeah.
If I said, we're going to go and we're going to spend...
I wonder if the U.S. has ever, installed dictators in the Middle East when it was convenient, and then sort of those dictators became inconvenient and they had to be removed. I wonder if that was ever a thing in the history of the United States. I would have to look it up. I'm not so well versed on history, but it is a question that comes to mind a little bit. If we are really going to talk about the root causes.
Long time trying to build up understanding with people in the Islamist world, all this kind of stuff, it'd have been completely silent because that's not the emotional, sexy response.
That was a rhetorical question, by the way.
Right. But that's the necessary part.
You know, the sexy response also didn't make sense to me because there was this line that I heard repeatedly, which is, they hate our freedom.
What sexy
They.
response? What's the sexy
They're
response?
over there. Why do they care if I have the HBO cable bundle? Like someone in Al Qaeda is just like, what? He has Amazon Prime Video. So much freedom.
Is this guy supposed to be a comedian? Really? This is peak comedy? This is this guy being a comedian? God, the standard of comedy is just so low. It's just below the ground, isn't it? I can think of when it comes to the Middle East is the Shah in Iran. Yeah, that's a pretty good example actually, and pretty, I would say, relevant to recent events, isn't it? If we are going to go to root causes once again.
And Showtime that's now been rolled over into Paramount. So many options. Like that never clicked for me.
Yeah, we need to be sure that we are even-handed here because of all the mistakes we made and the attitudes we took on.
Yeah.
They were equally guilty. If you were talking to
Let me see. Let's consult Google, okay? US and British support for the Hussein regime. US intelligence helped Saddam's Ba'ath Party seize power for the first time in 1963. Evidence suggests that Saddam was on the CIA payrolls as early as 1959. Interesting. Yeah, that is a thing that, interestingly enough, I learned at high school. Because it's not a secret. Whatever. I have gained such secret knowledge by gaining a high school education in Poland.
a leader there.
Let's just say that our history teacher had a pretty, everyone was shit during the Cold War approach to things.
Did do all those things. They tried to simplify us. They tried to characterize us in a certain way, weakness.
Yeah.
All the things of our social lack of discipline, our lack of morals.
Right.
And so they did the same thing that we find ourselves doing.
Were they doing that? Were they making fun of America?
Of course. So, I mean, you know, we go around and self-flagellate all the time, but everybody makes that same mistake.
Did you guys hear that X is suing the New York City Attorney General? Elon apparently wants to challenge the Stop Hiding Hate Act because...
Okay, I want to go to the toilet now. I'll be right back. In the meantime, consider using the link that I posted on YouTube, lucyhaza.org/donate, and donating anything you can for my trip. I'm going to be leaving to Ukraine very, very soon. And I also need for the emergency doctor thing because that became an issue just today. Believe it or not, because developments, life and its development. Life has its developments and it's just, that is what happens. Unfortunately, that is exactly what happens. I'll be right back. I don't. Here, I received a bundle of donations. Oh my gosh! Thank you for the $1 billion. I have not expected that. It's so cool. Thank you forever. Okay, let's continue. Watch this. I don't know what this is. Ad read.
It will require X to disclose how much they moderate sensitive speech, claiming it would violate the First Amendment. Now, at HMDK, we just started using a platform called Ground News.
I knew
which
it.
shows a breakdown of publications.
Shut up. Whatever. Shut up. I don't care. Okay. It's always I love your stream and never here's 1 billion US dollars. Yeah, exactly.
Well, General, I got to give you this, which is even in this conversation and in the interviews you've been given, you have been very empathetic towards even people that you have been in combat with. I found this interview that you recently gave, and I wanted to show it to you.
Yeah. If I was a young Palestinian who lived in Gaza, who'd been raised in Gaza, say I was born about 2000.
Wow, the general is actually a human being. Incredible. He can recognize people's conditions and what those conditions drive them to. Wow, it's incredible that the general is being praised for basic empathy that all people should have. Being able to put oneself in another person's shoes.
My experience would be such that I accept that I probably would be a supporter of or participant from Hamas because that would be my perspective.
General, if I said those exact words, I would be sent to a prison in El Salvador. Let me also
land of the free, by the way.
Just say this, just because this is on video. I just want to let you know, even though I don't know if you've been listening to Chapo Trap House or Stavi got to you and you're on your anti-imperialist stuff. I just want to let everyone know that I condemn.
Very funny. Truly a comedic genius.
All of it.
I'm laughing my ass off. This was a brilliant joke. This is real comedy. Take notes if you want to be a comedian.
I completely understand that if you said that, you think that you would be targeted, and I don't disagree. But at the same time, we need to step back and say, why is somebody thinking that? If I had a different life journey and grew up somewhere different in the United States, different thing.
Also, it does not actually follow that, okay? Not all people in Gaza support Hamas, but that's neither here nor there. Have you heard of the Norwegian tourists being sent back to their country because of a JD meme on their phone? No, link please.
Probably feel very differently politically and whatnot.
And you have that quote in the book. In every war, each side seeks
Wow, if your circumstance would be different, you'd be different. This is incredible. This is groundbreaking. I've never heard of such a thing before. Really? Is this really the high-level, high-brow commentary that we are expecting? Oh my gosh, this interview is better than anything I've ever seen from the left, right, left, and center. This comedian is a brilliant interviewer. 118,778 views. Oh, sorry, it just grew. Wait, it's from yesterday? Hello, I'm back. Who this? A general that killed Saddam Hussein. And a brilliant comedian interviewer. Welcome back. Welcome back. Thank you for being here, as always. This is brilliant.
To dehumanize them.
Exactly.
That's what you're talking.
So
that
we
destroying them is
all
easy.
got to think. Even comedians can't step away from thinking.
Sure. I try to.
You try to, but you fail. Okay? I'm gonna be the harsh critic here. When you try your best and don't succeed. This is one of those moments in your life, I'm afraid. It just happened to you.
I try to. Now, I've been accused of not
Rightfully so.
being so sharp.
Yeah.
But I'm trying my best,
Well,
gentlemen.
okay. You know what? I underestimated this guy, okay? Self-awareness is actually a very important part of life. It is a very important thing to recognize. You know what? I'm gonna give him points for the self-awareness. He, in fact, is not that sharp. Well, okay. This is actually getting in a far better direction than I expected.
But you are saying, look, the people that are involved in war, and in this particular case in Gaza, they're human beings. They're not monsters.
Wow, no. Ooh, oh my God. Another revelation that I've never thought of before. This is so deep. People involved in war are actually people. Whoa, oh my God. My mind is blown.
And they're responding to their experiences. So here's my question.
My mind is torn apart.
Do you think the military teaches people
It's Coldplay
to humanize the other side? Or when did you come to this conclusion? Is it while you were serving people to humanize the other side? Or when
Where
did
did you come to the conclusion that people participating in war are actually human? What kind of question is that? Oh my God.
you come to this conclusion? Is it while you were serving, after you served?
The military does a little bit of both, unfortunately. On the one hand, because it is designed to be an aggressive culture, particularly historically, you sort of want to simplify things. Admiral Bull Halsey had this billboard created World War II that said, "Kill Japs, kill more Japs." And that was at the entrance to one of the harbors that his ships went in and out of. I mean, that's pretty focused.
Yeah.
But in the
Not a lot of
moment,
subtext there.
nobody had any problem with that. I think that the military does that, but on the other hand, we do a pretty good job in the American military of talking about rule of law, law of armed conflict, morality. So better than almost any military I've seen, we...
Oh. That begs the question. Well, I'm not going to say begs the question, but it does make me want to ask. Okay, the United States does a good job talking about it, but how good of a job does it do about actually executing what is being talked about? That's my big question. Talking about it is all good, but if you don't actually do it, then it's pretty meaningless and worthless. So
balance that pretty well. But if you think about what
see
you're asking,
again, the cynicist, the cynical, cold person in me is just okay. The U.S. is so great at talking about it, but I wonder about the execution.
asking a young soldier to do. You're asking to screw up their courage, go into battle, be aggressive, and then at the same time, you're asking them to almost in a nanosecond switch over and be humanitarian to civilians or to wounded enemy.
Yeah.
It's necessary, but it's hard.
Yeah.
It's like taking attack dogs and suddenly asking them to calm down and don't attack anymore. So that's why discipline's so important. And that's why leadership in the military is so critically valuable. And that's why, of course, leadership at the national level is so important.
You have been an expert specifically on leadership, but also your expertise and your frame of mind and thinking was relied on for military interventions in the Middle East. What is the lesson that we as Americans keep failing to learn when it comes to everything that's happening in the Middle East? Because things are worse in Iraq, in Libya, in Afghanistan. Why?
We fail to learn that people are actually human. The only positive thing in the room is the green cat in the background on the shelf. The cat stares Duck Nana. I mean, the general is okay, but this comedian guy is just getting on my nerves, okay?
Why, as Americans, do we always...
Well, apparently the story changed since yesterday and is now that they send them back because of an admission of drug use in their home country. Whoa, no! Oh, crap. What sort of... Did they smoke pot?
resort to military
Oh
intervention over
no,
other forms of diplomacy.
that's horrible.
Your
That's
point's right. When
deplorable.
we do military intervention, I think that we don't do some things that you absolutely need to do before you go. First is understand the conflict. We went into Afghanistan after 9/11. We had not been involved for about a decade because after the Soviets had been pushed out.
Understanding the conflict through pussies. So my headcanon is still that they deported them because of the Bull J.D. Vance meme.
We backed away, closed our embassy. So we went in almost blind, deaf, and dumb. We didn't have people who spoke the language, who knew the area. We had a few people who might have had a little bit of peripheral interaction with it, but we didn't understand it, and we tried to be in a hurry. So we did things with expedience, which weren't with bad intentions,
Right.
but they were ultimately ineffective.
There was
It
this
was all done with love.
feeling of we'll get in there and fix it.
That's right.
We'll fix it. Is there any data set that can undermine that unshakable faith that military intervention will fix it?
Yeah, history. I mean, history will show you that that almost never works from outsiders going in to fix something like that. It really has to be fixed from within. That doesn't mean we shouldn't be involved. We shouldn't support. We shouldn't do things which allow budding nations either to defend themselves or to increase their effectiveness.
Okay, that feels like it was a throwback to Ukraine, okay? It doesn't mean that we should not be supporting Ukraine, is what I'm sort of kind of hearing from the general here. But maybe I'm just biased. Maybe it's just that the topic is on my mind constantly. And I just immediately connected the dots like a genius that I am.
Of their governance or their economy.
General, I really, and I don't want to interrupt you here because I respect you so much, but I need you to do this while
I don't know why that made me crack up, but it did. It sounded so stupid.
you're on the book tour, which is, hey, I've served, I've seen how messy the puppy dog gets around the world. For every crisis that happens in this country from here on out, I know everybody learns things through TikTok and Instagram stories, but I need phones down for 90 days. Open up your Houghton Mifflin history book, and you need to read about how we fucked it up.gov. Is that possible?
Pot meat kettle. I'm sorry, you should crack open a book yourself, if we're being honest.
Probably not. Would it be valuable? Absolutely. And we need to start at the top. We need to admit with our national leadership, who do have the time and staffs to help
True. Let's
educate
replace
them
the
themselves
comedian guy.
so they can understand it.
These guys, they write so many
Well,
books about history. They evoke
Yeah.
their favorite president all the time.
You know, it's interesting. When I went to Afghanistan, I had been a student of Vietnam because my father and brother had served there. And so I was very familiar with what we got wrong in Vietnam and what the costs were. And we did most of the same mistakes in Afghanistan. And you could see it happening. And again, I go back to it was good people trying hard. And that's the danger of it. Because if we try to say, well, we'll just get better.
The most delusional thing is to just tell yourself that it was all just good people trying hard. Harsh take, maybe. I'm sorry, it's not all that it was. It wasn't just good people trying hard. I hate to say it, but oh my gosh.
People and send them over. That wasn't the
It
problem.
was just all good people trying hard.
The problem was the mindset and the process that we followed. We couldn't unify our effort and we couldn't clarify exactly what was doable by foreigners. And I think those things we can learn from. But they are hard lessons to learn.
We have the memory of earthworms, is what I'm realizing more and more.
This episode of Hassan Minhaj Doesn't Know is brought to you by Booking.com. Booking.yeah. Whether you're
2 ad reads in a video, in a 37-minute video, 2 ad reads. That is such shame. That is really shameless, okay? 1 ad read is more than enough. 2 sponsors for a single video? Get out of here. Shut up. Get out of here. You cannot be serious with this. This cannot be serious.
Chapter 17, you talk about a thought experiment that you did with your students in a leadership course at Yale. So this is the scenario, all right? There's a nuclear bomb and there's a little red countdown clock, and the countdown clock is ticking. And you ask the students, is it okay to torture the terrorist to find out where they put the bomb? And you wrote that you were stunned by their response. How did they respond?
Yes.
Well, first, the scenario also put their family in that city. So there was a personal connection. And I said, is it okay to torture this subject or this detainee to try to get the information? And they go, oh, yeah. It was always a majority who said, oh, yeah.
What a shocking response. Oh my God. Who would have expected such a development? I would have never. Really?
You know, you got to get the information. And we would sort of back up and I'd say, no, wait.
Really? Is that all that shocking to you? Comedian guy?
Wait a minute. You know, torture is not only wrong, it's illegal. And so you can't do that. And they go, yeah, but there's a bomb in the city with my family, and that guy's got the information. We got to get it.
People would do unspeakable things to save hundreds of thousands. Not even thousands, hundreds of thousands to save their loved ones. There you go. You can just limit it to that.
And you suddenly realize how powerful that kind of a feeling is. We go back and we say the things we did wrong after 9/11, and there was not outright torture, at least not that I ever saw.
Mm-hmm.
But the reality is there's this pressure to do whatever it takes to get the job done.
Yeah.
Okay, time for a fact check.
Oh my God.
So, while Stanley McChrystal was the commander of JSOC in Iraq, he oversaw a detention center called Camp Nama, which soldiers said stood for Nasty Ass Military Area. According to a report by Human Rights Watch, prisoners at Camp Nama were, quote, regularly stripped naked, subjected to sleep deprivation and extreme cold, placed in painful stress positions, and beaten.
Uh-oh. General, what is this?
The New York Times reported that soldiers there beat prisoners with rifle butts, yelled and spit in their faces, and used detainees for target practice in a game of paintball. And one interrogator at the camp reported
What is it that I'm hearing, General?
Seeing the general in person, inspecting that prison multiple times. Now,
I am so shocked. The general seemed like such a nice elderly gentleman. I would have never suspected that.
General knows all of this, but I think it's important for you to know too, before you hear the next question and the next answer.
Wow. But I thought the general was such a kindly old gentleman. I never would have expected this to come out. Wow. Now I don't know what to believe.
I mean, you're right. I'm still not sure if they were right or wrong. The students.
Exactly.
I know the right or politically correct answer, and I personally don't condone torture. But if my family were in danger, I would likely react similarly. So maybe I do condone torture.
Maybe.
Now, I'm very curious here. Did any of your students think that it was a little weird getting asked a question about torture from a man who oversaw a military detention facility in Iraq?
Well, I think they knew that I knew something about the subject we were talking about because it is much more complicated than people think.
Yeah.
Now, there's a right and wrong. There's a black and white on this thing, but there's also the reality of how things are. And so I think the ability to recognize that if you haven't thought about it beforehand, it's more difficult to confront that. After 9/11, the United States had not really thought about it before. Suddenly this horrific action occurs, and there's all this talk about taking the gloves off. We're going to do whatever it takes to defeat these terrorists. And there were some ideas that were floated around that were, I thought, preposterous, but they were in the emotion of the moment. And that gets back to our earlier conversation. You need to understand that boundaries will be pushed in moments like that, and you need to think about them beforehand. You need to decide what your character is.
Yeah, this is where there's particular chapters in the book where you really wrestle with these pretty gnarly philosophical questions, specifically about pushing those boundaries. In Iraq and Afghanistan, you oversaw
you've got experience.
The system of those night raids. Some of them did not go very well, okay? Particularly the one outside of the city in Gardez in Afghanistan. Now, I'm not going to get into the details with you. Maybe when you do the podcast with Mehdi Hassan, he will go into every bullet point.
Okay, so Mehdi told me the general's not coming on Zateo, so I'll just have to give you these bullet points myself.
Uh-oh. The general was not so keen to go into detail. I wonder why.
In Afghanistan, the US military regularly carried out night raids. Now, these ramped up under the leadership of General McChrystal, and at their peak, his soldiers were reportedly doing 12 to 15 of these a night. On one of these night raids, in February of 2010, US Army Rangers raided a house outside the city of Gardez. What happened was covered in Jeremy Scahill's Oscar-nominated documentary, Dirty Wars. And I'll let Jeremy describe what happened.
What happened in Gardez was that U.S. Special Operations Forces had intelligence that there were, a Taliban cell was in was having some sort of a meeting to prepare a suicide bomber, and they raid this house in the middle of the night, and they end up killing 5 people, including 3 women, 2 of whom were pregnant, and another person that they killed in the house, Mohammed Daoud, turned out to be a senior Afghan police commander who had been trained by the U.S. And so the soldiers.
Wonderful. So this is basically an uncritical interview by very unfunny comedian whose critical cut-ins consist of fact checks that he doesn't use to confront the general with. Yes, basically. Basically, yeah. That is basically what that
soldiers raid this house and they kill these people, and instead of realizing that they had made a horrible mistake and that the intelligence was wrong and it resulted in these people being killed, they actually covered up the killings. And we interviewed the survivors of this raid, including a man who watched while he was zip cuffed his American soldiers digging bullets out of his wife's dead body.
As head of the military command in Afghanistan, General McChrystal ordered an internal investigation about what happened in the Gardez raid. Now, the report eventually concluded that the amount of force utilized was necessary, proportional, and applied at the appropriate time. None of the soldiers involved were disciplined for what happened.
Wow.
Which sets up this next question.
But the reason why I bring it up, the night raids, the torture, all of that stuff, is to set up this really important final question.
Okay.
I get why America losing its standing in the world is bad for me. But if I'm in another part of the world, if I'm a citizen in Vietnam and
actually, that depends. Okay. Actually, if you're a citizen in Vietnam nowadays, the US losing its standing in the world would be actually pretty bad, because Vietnam actually looks pretty diligently towards the US, because Vietnam does not consider the US a threat nowadays. It considers China a threat. Maybe a comedian should brush up on international affairs a bit before doing these interviews, because this is a bit embarrassing.
Cambodia and Iraq, Afghanistan, anywhere in Latin America, if I somehow turn on NPR and it says breaking news, today China is the world's superpower.
And you really believe Vietnam would be happy with that? Really? You think Vietnam would jump from joy and say, hooray, the US is not the hegemon anymore, China is? Are you serious? Okay. Okay, Chief, I have... God, really? Oh boy. This comedy. Now that's comedy, okay?
Why would I care?
Yeah. If you don't believe in American values and character, you won't care.
Right.
Because you will just do a transactional accounting of what's easier to...
American values and character. Don't make me laugh with this shit. Come on. Oh, please.
Trade with, where do I make more money?
Or if you live in, say, Sudan or another part of the world that we have invaded, just, hey, okay, well, someone else is in charge.
Yeah, Vietnam definitely would want China to be the world hegemon. What other country will you name next? Taiwan?
Someone else has the agency and I don't.
I think we have to be the kind of nation that people admire enough. Again, we'll never be perfect. Admire enough that they say, for all of their faults, the United States is essential. For all of their faults, we want to be with them and like them.
Well, Trump is making sure that that ship is sailing for many very fast.
As much as we can.
So thank you for your time here, but I wanted to end with a personal anecdote. And we chatted about this before we came in here. I'd like to shout out my mom.
A personal anecdote. Oh, personal.
Who has worked at the VA right off of Zinfandel Boulevard, right near the Mather Air Force Base.
Wow.
And she has been a physician who has served members of the military for decades.
Damn.
And as a young kid, I got to visit my mom at work. And I got to see the way a lot of our former veterans were treated. I'm talking about veterans that served in Iraq, Afghanistan, the Vietnam War, the Korean War. And I got to tell you something, General. It was really sad to see the way our country has neglected people that have served. And in my lifetime, I have found that the ideas of diplomacy or negotiation, these characters or values that we use first, have never really been the place, and it's always been military intervention first. And when I see the patients that my mom works with every day, I would love to live in a country where it's diplomacy and negotiation first, military intervention and force last. But sadly, I feel like it's always been the inverse. General McChrystal, to take us out, do you feel there will be a time in this country where that
values
inverse does happen?
I don't think that's always been the case. I understand your perception, though, because the wars are such big things. I think there's been a heck of a lot of diplomacy.
Fido.
But the reality is, in every case, that ought to be what we lean into. That ought to be our first and best pitch of the game, because the people that your mother does so much to serve, they're our brothers, our sisters, our mothers, our fathers, our kids. You know, they are part of us. So when we go to war, a bit of us goes. And so I think that the idea that we need to do everything we can, both to be the kind of people we can be, but also to protect the rest of us, that's the key thing.
General McChrystal, I thank you for
that is brilliant.
Your time, and thanks for coming on the show.
Thanks for having me, Hassan.
And now we have like this post whatever thing. Brilliant.
And I know you're not a young man, but you're younger.
Yeah.
Don't be too binary on your assessment of the U.S. as just going out and rush to war at every time. We've actually done, in many cases where we have not, but you just don't read about them and hear about them as much. And you've got a whole group of people who try to do that every day.
Yeah.
The problem with the military is it's an easy button, because when you press the button, something happens much more rapidly than it does in diplomacy or something. So if you have a political expedience, a politician is, first they press the CIA button because they think they can do it secretly and that never works.
Right.
Then they press the military button because...
And generally the CIA button is the overthrow the current political dictator button.
Exactly. And they say it'll always be secret. No, it won't.
Yeah.
And then they do the military button, and then they realize that neither of those two solve the problem anyway.
Right.
I think if you ever studied people in power, their aversion to the use of either those kind of covert operations or military go down. It's just like military people. The more wars you've been in, the less you're excited to have wars.
Sure.
And it makes sense, not just because war is hard. It's actually kind of exciting. I mean, to be honest, but it doesn't.
Oh, that's telling.
Doesn't work.
That's telling. War is exciting. That's okay. Alright, so I guess that's it. We've done a little bit of a stream. That's exciting. Just like war, I guess. And how did you like? I'm gonna do a politics thing later. We've streamed for 3 hours. It's been great. I have to go do other things now to be prepared. To be prepared for projects and things. But thank you very much. It's been lovely. It's been lovely to see every single person here. And I guess I'm gonna fade you out. Thank you very much. Thank you very, very much, as always, for being here. I'm gonna raid you out to some person that hopefully is live. And then I'll see you later for more thrilling politics and stuff. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be so amazing. You're gonna be... Okay, I'm gonna raid you to Ukrainian storks. Guys, after such a thrilling interview, the thing that you really need is to watch some birds in Ukraine live. I think that'll give you the energy that you desperately need. Okay? There you go. There you go. I'm sending you to them right now as we speak. See you later.